Installing a Royal Sovereign RSC 1402 HW laminator with front feed assembly. Arriving in 2 crates, you will need a pair of tin snips, a battery-operated drill, and an 8mm bit. To begin the uncrating process, use the tin snips to carefully cut away the wire strapping around the crate. Next, use the battery-operated drill and 8mm bit to remove the screws from the outside of the crate. After removing the screws from the top panel, set the panel aside and check for any concealed damage. There should not be any concealed damage, but if you notice anything, a claim must be filed with the carrier. After inspecting the unit, remove the remaining panels from the crate. Next, remove the plastic cover. Carefully cut away the plastic wrap and bindings, taking care not to cut the remote or power cord. Locate the starter kit and note the contents. Carefully remove the stand from underneath the laminator. Locate the dual support bars and set them next to the stand. The contents of the starter kit include 8 long bolts, 8 shorter bolts, and a 6mm Allen wrench. Build the base by using the 8 longer bolts to connect the stand to the support bars. As the RSC 1402 HW is very heavy, we recommend removing all the supply shafts to lighten the load. Remove the strapping from the rewind, take-up, and front supply shaft. Set aside the feed table. Next, remove all the shaft bars. Once all the shaft bars have been removed, position the laminator near the base. Make sure the casters are locked so that the base does not move when lifting the laminator onto the base. 2 people will be required to lift the laminator onto the base. Remember to lift with your legs and not with your back. Align the bolt holes on the stand to the bolt holes on the unit. Use the remaining smaller bolts to secure the laminator to the stand. Next, use the drill and bit to open up the front feed assembly crate. Take note of the contents. There should be 2 auto grips, some bolts, a shaft bar, and 2 extensions. Locate the bag of bolts and use the bolts to secure the extensions to the frame of the unit. The tension knobs should be on the same side, and the slotted ends of the bracket should be on the same side. Now slide the auto grips onto the supply shaft. Evenly distribute the auto grips based on the size of your media roll. Use the included Allen wrench to tighten down the set screws. Now the supply shaft can be loaded onto the front feed assembly. To complete installation, load the remaining shaft bars onto the laminator. Take note of the proper positioning of the feed table. On the right-hand side of the feed table, there is a tab that will activate a microswitch. Use the pin as a pivot point and make note of the microswitch when placing the feed table onto the laminator. When properly positioned and the microswitch is activated, you should hear a click. Load the take-up shaft and core onto the laminator. Locate and place the foot pedal on the ground. Pressing the foot pedal once will cause the rollers to run. Unwrap and hang the remote on the convenient hook. Load the film supply onto the laminator. Finally, load the rewind shaft onto the rewinder. Note the location of the front-facing emergency stop. The document guides will help align your media. Note the location of the safety sensor. Remove the screen protector from the digital controls. The RSC 1402HW has 9 different speed settings. The quick notch gap adjustment allows you to set the rollers at 8 different heights. Engage the motor on the rear rewinder for roll-to-roll lamination. The convenient crosscutter is great for trimming finished materials as they exit the laminator. The rear-facing remote has a run, stop, and reverse functionality. Power requirements are 120 volts and 12.5 amps. Use low-tack tape to remove any dust from the rollers. Replacing a broken silicone elastic. To replace a broken silicone elastic band, you will need a Phillips head screwdriver to remove the plastic cap. Carefully set aside the screws in the plastic cap and then repeat the process on the remaining plastic cap. Remove the broken elastic band. Insert the replacement silicone elastic band and then bend it through the large opening. Next, reattach the plastic cap using the screws and Phillips head screwdriver to the core of the auto grip. Repeat this process on the remaining plastic cap. Adjust the amount of slack the silicone elastic band has, and that would help determine the diameter that you would have when fitting into the core. Reposition the auto grip onto the shaft bar and secure it using the included Allen wrench and the set screws. Thank you for viewing the RSC 1402HW installation video.